Well, hello everybody. Welcome back to the Bison Workshop. I'm Bob. And I bet you're wondering why the four-wheeler was sitting on a trailer. Well, I'll tell you why it's sitting on a trailer. But before I do, let me tell you a little story. When I was searching for a four-wheeler for my son, what I wanted was a Big Bear 400. And I was having a hard time finding one, so I settled for a 350. Well, this 350, even with both of the frames that I had, this one was actually the better one to build, so I did. And I went all out on it, simply because when I drove it, I was confident that I was going to be okay. Well, that wasn't the case. If you guys watched the last video, I had a sound in the motor that I didn't like, and I had already had $2,100 in this bike. That's replacing everything, literally everything except for the motor. And I decided that because I'm not going to split that motor, I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm scared to death to split a four-wheeler motor, simply because there's so many parts inside that thing, and if one thing fell out that I didn't see where it come from, I wouldn't have no clue as to where to put it back. So rather than to split it, I decided to just leave well enough alone and see if I could find somebody that would be willing to trade me this with all the stuff that I've put on it. New tires, new wiring harness, new solenoid, new coil, let's just say everything. Because it's a long list. It's a big list, it's too long to list. So I went and did another search on Facebook Marketplace, and I found a local boy about an hour and 17 minutes from me, and he had a Big Bear for 800 and some bucks. Well, I thought, well, you know what? Let me just give it a shot, see if he'd be willing to do some trading. And I told him what was wrong with it. He knows that I can't get it running right, but he knows how to work on them motors. So he's not scared of them. So once he gets the motor fixed, he's got a really nice bike. I mean, he could probably turn around and sell this thing for $3,000. So that's what I decided to do. Yes, that means that I have to start all over, but I'll tell you why this trade is not so hard on me. By rights, yes, it should be hard on me. And it is a little bit. It's kind of a insult to the pocket. But after talking to this young man, I found out that he had just as rough a life as I had. He's only 15 years old. And I remember when I was a child being beat and him telling me his stories as to what happened to him. This trade means nothing to me now. I am fine with trading him all this stuff. Yes, he's getting new tires, new everything. But, you know, I feel a whole lot better about this deal because with what he's been through, I think he deserves a little new in his life. So, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to trade him for this four-wheeler. If I can get the picture. It might be taken down by then, I don't know. But he's going to trade me a Big Bear 400. He did send me a video of him starting it and running it. And the plastic is in bad shape, but I have plastic for it that came off of my Big Bear. There was nothing wrong with the plastic that was on it. It was all intact. The only thing is, I'm a stickler for camouflage. I like camouflage, and I wanted camouflage. I had the money, so I went ahead and bought the camouflage. So I kept the plastic, so I've got plastic for it. Yes, I'll have to make mud flaps, and I got to rebuild a rear end on it, which I think the rear end that came off of that frame, he told me I could keep that rear end, so I'm going to keep the rear end. All he wanted off of it was the brakes, so I told him I have a brand new set. I'll just give him a brand new set of brakes. So he must have needed it for something else. But I'm hoping between the original rear end that needs to be rebuilt and this one, I can come up with one good rear end. So we're going to try not to spend any money on this one, any more than I have to, but it's going to be nice when I'm done. But we're switching gears now. We're going from building a 350 Moto 4 to rebuilding a Big Bear 400. But that was my goal to begin with, was to get a Big Bear 400. So I've got it loaded up and ready to go. I'm waiting on him to get off work to go get it. Now, I don't know if I'm going to be doing any video of me going there and getting it. I'll probably just start when I get back, show you guys what I have. So I guess that'll stop this video right now, and once I get it, I'll start right now. Alright, it's here. Man, I'm going to tell you, that was a long trip. I don't think I ever want to make that trip again. It was about an hour and a half one way. And the roads beat me to death in my truck. I got 12 leaves in the back of my springs on my truck. And I'm going to tell you, there is no give on these roads. But I've got it here. And it's in worse shape than I thought it was. But we'll get her done. So before anybody says anything, yes, I know I should have checked and then put all that money in it. But I'm not complaining about that, because who got it deserved it. He deserved to get a nice bike. So, you know, he started this thing up and it ran beautifully. It sounded better than mine, actually. And as soon as he done that, it sealed the deal for me. I was done. Yeah, put her on the trailer and let me go. So he throwed in a bunch of extra parts, and we'll show you those. This is actually the second. Mine is the first that I got that actually had a key switch with the key. All the rest of them, I always had to buy a freaking switch for it to just turn it on. But I'm really happy that he got that four-wheeler. Once he gets that motor fixed, and he knows how to do it, so once he gets that motor fixed, I figured he has to work on that one, I have to work on this one. It's pretty much an even trade. This cosmetic stuff is nothing to me. I've done rebuilt so many Big Bears. I can do it in my sleep. But it's just that motor that gets me. When it comes to doing something inside that motor, I have no desire to break that motor open. So, without me talking anymore, let's go ahead and show you what we got. I had a heck of a time getting it off the trailer. Here she bees. She has no rear axle in it, no shock. It's got a swing arm in it, but it's got to come out. The first thing I want to do is I just want to take one of these complete rear ends, with a swing arm and just stick it in temporary, get the shock on it so I can put some wheels on it, and then I want to take and roll it out of here with the plastic and the rack and the tank and the seat, everything off of it, and I want to power wash everything. This thing's got mud clear down in it. That would drive me nuts if that was my four-wheeler with dirt like that in there. But, oh, he didn't put the locking nuts on them swing arm bolts. I'm gonna have to get on him. Of course, he's probably watching this video now. But, looks like a Frankenstein stitch on that plastic. It actually ain't a bad job. But still, there's the plastic that's going on it. That's the plastic that came off of that Big Bear before I got the camouflage. So we're going to put that plastic on it. I've got another set of racks up there on the top shelf that will replace these, because this one's been welded and boogered up, messed up. It's been welded to this, so I got to grind all that off of there and separate that from the bumper. The bumper can be salvaged. It just got a dent in it right here, which just hammer hit with that with the dead blow. That'd have been straight up. That'd have straightened right up. But, and I could probably salvage this too. But I got a new set up there, so I'll put the new set on it that I ordered for that one a long time ago before I decided to put this plastic one on it. So I have an extra set of racks. This back one's in pretty bad shape too. It's bent right there. This here's bent clear up into the plastic. But like I said, that plastic's coming off of there. That seat, I don't know what I'm gonna do about that foam. I'm gonna have to probably get some foam for it. This is pretty rough and hard. We'll see. I might have some foam here somewhere. I believe I do have some that came out of a cushion on a recliner, or not a recliner, but a living room chair that I had that I just took the cushion out of, and I think it's the same identical foam, so I might be able to take some out of that and glue it down on there and then shape it. That'll be another video. But I got that rear end. This is a Big Bear 350 rear. You can tell because it's got the two nuts on it. Usually when they have the two nuts on it, it's for the 350 and the 250. The one that has this sleeve on it here, the protector, without a nut, that's usually the Big Bear 400. So this one is the Big Bear 400. But I've got another one of these that's already prepared. I've got a swing arm that's already prepared, so I ain't got to mess with those. The only thing I have to mess with is this part. I have two brand new, well, not brand new, refurbished axles. So I'll show you those here in just a second, as soon as I get to it. These here have already been restored. They just got a little dust on them, but I've got the swing arm here, and I've got the tube. So then we've got all of our parts right there that we're going to put on it. This one's actually got the cooler, the right cooler in it. So he started it up for me, and like I said, it sounded better than mine did. So basically it just needs cleaned up. Once I power wash this thing, man, this will make a huge difference. Now, he did say that there was a bolt off in the exhaust. I didn't want to hear that. Simply because if it's broke off in that head, that means I got to take this head off and go and get the one off of my other one, which I did not want to take that motor apart, but I have to take from here up off of the other one and put it on there, because I'm not going to fight with a broken off stud. If it is, it may not be broke. If it's not broke, then I don't have to worry about it. So it may quite possibly be one of those deals where I take everything off of this one and put it on my other frame that I spent a lot of time wire brushing, rewelding it, rewelding new brackets on it, back to factory, and then I painted it camouflage. I got a video showing that, but it's sitting out back there under the shed roof, and it's probably about time to put that thing to use. So that will give me an opportunity to take every single piece off of this thing, start from the frame, and just add the pieces as I clean them up and paint them. Right now, the main thing is to get it cleaned up. So don't down me, guys. Oh, and I even got to treat myself to McDonald's. I haven't been to McDonald's in like 3 years. So I got to treat myself. I seen that McDonald's, I said, woo! But after you eat it, you think, oh, that wasn't all that special. But I've got another battery up there in the overhead crane that I can take this battery, put it on charge if it's any good. They had to jump start it with that battery in it. So that battery may not be no good. But we're going to give it a shot, see if we can't charge it, and see if it'll hold a charge. If it will, then I'll have 3 batteries here. So I'll have a backup. But this one here, I believe, in my heart, is the better build. It's a bigger bike, and it'll serve my son well. So I think he'll like this better than he did the 350, because 350 is a little small. It was a little small for me. It made me feel like I was riding a Tonka toy. But it's got its issues. But you guys know, Bison can rebuild it. You've done seen what I can do. I can turn a turd into a piece of gold. Well, maybe not gold, maybe silver. Because if I could turn a turd into gold, I wouldn't need no money. But this is going to be a nice one. I think this one's going to be the keeper. As long as that motor runs and that CDI box is good, the rest of it is minor stuff to me. So we're going to also put disc brakes on this one, on the rear. I'm going to do the exact same thing I've done to my other Big Bear. Put rear disc brakes on it. And that alone is a job in itself. Machining all them parts to go on it, on the mill and the lathe. But I think she'll look good when I'm done. Of course, I don't think, I know it'll look good. Main thing is that when I'm taking it apart, I don't break a lot of bolts. I hope not, and that bug's gonna get in this video. Get out of here. He had to get in a video. Did you see that? So tell me what you think, guys. I know you guys are probably shaking your head. Yeah, Bob done went and spent all that money on that other one and just traded it off. Well, it wasn't the brightest move, but it was a move nonetheless, and it turned out for the best. you gotta look at the best in everything, man. If you don't, you're always gonna look for the worst. So, you know, when I seen the look on that boy's face when he seen that and how happy he was, that's all I needed, man. I almost couldn't contain my feelings when I seen how he looked when he seen it. He's a pretty cool kid, young boy, and he's pretty cool. He even told me I was cool. I didn't think that I'm too old to be cool. Anyway, don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, and wish me luck, guys. You guys have a good one. Later.